But what is are there any changes we want to make? So maybe Affinity is on the downswing. Also, maybe the Affinity matchup isn't so bad with this build because we have like the Chant stuff can be quite good against them. I think I'm kind of interested in. I would really like to have like 2 White Orchid Phantoms, since Tron is like so popular and Belcher seems like kind of a miss, like both those matchups, like at least 2. And then being able to bring in 2 Force of Negation, like also against Belcher and Neoform, would seem pretty nice. I do think I want the Wrath of the Skies for both the Boros and the Affinity matchups. The Nature's Claim was kind of a combination anti-Titan, anti-Domain card, but I could bring in just the Fate from Histories against Domain. For the Leyline Scions, I think we can cut that. I think we could cut the 4th Chant from the board, since we're bringing in the Force of Negations and the Orchid Phantoms that come in a lot of those matchups. We could maybe play only 3 Consigns. I think I really want the 4th Prismatic Ending for Boros, and I think Boros is still popular enough. Soul Herder seems kind of nice. You know what? I wonder if Soul Herder is better than Helga. I don't think so. I don't think Soul Herder is actually that good without 2 mana creatures to flicker, so probably never mind on that. Maybe play 1 over Helga number 3. We did lose the Grixis Reanimator. I think we could probably afford to go down in Endurance. Yeah, I don't think I can play the Fades. I didn't know the Last Chance tournaments were tomorrow. Yeah, we should probably play those on stream. It'll be fun. Yeah, I did play the Nature's Claim was good. I did like having access to it. I just play an 18-card sideboard. I think we can play 1 Fade from History, 1 Nature's Claim. I think we can cut a Consign and an Endurance. I think this looks a little bit better. We were doing pretty well with it. I keep this on the play. Definitely a good hand to be on the play with. And sorry, thank you to Table Salts for the 9 months and Red Earth for the 3. Thank you. I'll pay out the prediction too. Yes. Were we supposed to chant in response to the fetch? Don't really think so. Happy to test the Boros matchup though. River to Hedge Maze, only 1 fetch left in the deck. Avatar spoilers for tomorrow. I'll probably ignore them. Like saving this for a Solitude seems pretty good. Supreme Verdict's a good answer to Kappa. I mean, it's not as good as Fade into History, although I guess it does dodge counter magic, which is pretty relevant sometimes. When is the Avatar set? We have 2 more sets this year, right? We have Spider-Man, which is next, and then we have Avatar, which is like the winter set. When does Spider-Man come out? Spider-Man in September, Avatar in November. Wait, Avatar. Sorry. When in November is Avatar? Because I might be honeymooning when it comes out. Yeah, Avatar is a full set. Ooh, Mardu again. Avatar is 10/21. Okay, I should be back by then. You ever get card content fatigue or most exciting? I never get new card fatigue. I'm usually dying for new cards as a modern content creator because most standard sets have like maybe 10 cards that are interesting, maybe 10 plus like 5 like mediocre interesting ones, something somewhere in that range. So as a modern content creator, I'm really happy with the flow, and like I would take more. I know, but most people are more fatigued, but most people engage with the game a little bit deeper than I do. They hit a Risen Reef, which they could cast. Probably not a lot of re-triggers available to them. They play a Seasoned Pyromancer here. They discard a Lightning and a Flage. And then we draw a Quantum Riddler. So I guess we're going to go Riddler, Ephemerate, plus Orim's Chant. So let me get a basic island then. They engage with it deeper than me? Yeah, I should say maybe wider than me than deeper. I probably go deeper than most Magic gamers, but I think most Magic players have their toes dipped in a multitude of formats, which can be like really overwhelming if you're a limited player and a commander player, or if you're a commander player and a standard player, or if you're trying to play standard and modern. But then I think it's way easier to have product fatigue. But if you are like me and you only engage with modern, then I don't usually feel very fatigued. Pyro would have been 2 Triggers from Reef. It would have been. That's true. They easy to miss. It would not have been that turn, but they could have set it up for the following turn. Piano with the 56 months. Thank you. Welcome back. We'll see if they trade the Ragavan for 4 damage. Decide no. So if you're experiencing product fatigue, then I would encourage you to consider pulling back on a format. Not modern though. Let's keep the Helga. Good chance we're gonna chant again. You're an Eternal Witness. So they have a Cavern of Souls. Don't see that often. So I'm gonna get another Orim's Chance back, I think. Could be maybe better to get the Risen Reef. No, I think we want one more Chant. And then I think that there's a pretty high chance that my opponent has a removal spell for the Witness. But I can set myself up to be in a position where I attack them for 4, kick Chant, and then they're at 4 life. Although, if they're just not breaking this up, then we should be good. Maybe they have Thraben Charm? They respond to this with a Surveil. Is pre-modern play scheduled, or you can just hop on and start playing it? I don't think pre-modern is... I don't think there are any pre-modern queues on Magic Online, but I think there's probably enough of an online community that you could try to get involved and get in some matches. I've never dabbled. I guess we can also Ritual. So feeling pretty good here. Yeah, it seems like we're just gonna attack them twice. Guess we'll also warp a Riddler. Riddler just kills them so fast. Okay, go to game 2. So I'm glad we didn't cut the Prismatic Ending into Wraths, because that's what we want for this matchup. I think we also want some amount of Endurance. I also know we just locked them out with the Orim's Chance, but I don't think that the card's particularly good in this matchup. I think it's a little bit too easy for them to break up. I think we got a little bit lucky that they couldn't break it up. I think all 3 endurance could honestly get in. I think we could trim 1 or both witnesses and a Helga. Could also cut a Phelia kind of easy. I think this is probably okay. Maybe a little bit worried about trimming a blue card and keeping all subtleties in. I should still have 14 blue cards, which it's within range. Just thinking basically, do I want? I think I'll keep the first Phelia over the first Helga. I just realized their username is a play on your username. Oh no, my username is this is my Inspiring Timmy account. We're playing against Ifutu. This is my my Daybreak account. My alter ego. Any idea when Wizards will be revealing next year's sets? I don't. I try to just focus on what's in front of me with Magic. Anybody complaining about product fatigue, this is also advice I have for you. Just focus on what's in front of you. I'm still very much into exploring the EOE cards. This is my favorite thing to do: is explore new cards, figure out what we're doing with them. And I am I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. Hopefully, I guess we put back second Reef with this hand. Lead on an Arid Mesa. They also mulled the 6. Interesting that Mardu seems to be popping up again. A lot of times I kind of feel like when Mardu energy is popping up, that's a real sign of weakness for the energy archetype, that they feel like their deck is so poorly positioned that they're going to throw some Thoughtseizes in there and hope for the best. I know Mardu was like popping up a little bit when Sephiroth had just come out. I know that some people really liked the card in the deck. I think it was fine. I do still feel like EOE is my favorite set of all time. I'm just adoring the set. You know what? I think being able to go Reef with Subtlety up is really valuable, so let me not warp the Riddler this turn. Boros bad positioned. I think in theory it is. I think that it is not good against the Blink decks. I think it can be good against Affinity if you really sideboard for it, but that makes you really weak against like the rest of the field. So I don't think it's Boros is still a really powerful deck. You can still do well with it even if you're poorly positioned, just by the nature of your deck doesn't stumble very much and your opponent's decks can stumble really hard. Okay, let me surveil here. If I see an Ephemerate on top, I'm definitely gonna pitch the Reef. I think I'm almost always pitching here. Solitude. Yeah, let's pitch the Riddler. Of all time. Yeah, I would say that before Edge came out, my 2 favorite sets were Return to Ravnica and Modern Horizons 2. And I think I like Edge more than both of those sets. So yeah, there's just, you know, I think there's room for improvement still in the world of Magic the Gathering, but I don't think that there's another set I like more than Edge at the moment. That could change still. It's still pretty early. I could sour on it, but at the moment, I think it's just the best set ever. It's also like, part of it's like, it's coming from Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy I really disliked also. I don't know. I just didn't get it. I played Jutez Weapons deck and it was absolutely awesome. Yeah, I think that build is really strong. I love getting to play Claws of Gix. I'm really nostalgic for Claws of Gix because I remember me and my friend Caleb. Some of y'all know Caleb. We just were at my apartment one day, skipping class, and we built a blue-white Sun Titan hatching plans Claws of Gix deck, and it was so fun. Just infinitely fun. They could have Phelia in their deck. Their build's a little bit weird. I guess it's not attack. Not very likely though. Crazy. I feel like the station's kind of flopped. I don't think they did. Like the 1 mana blue station is, I think, good in both modern and standard. At least I've seen people play it in standard a lot. I think with the ritual in play, my life total matters more than the ability to surveil. So I'm just gonna get a tapped breeding pool and then plan to go like basic plain Solitude next turn into ritual. I think that also like there might be some implications for like specifically the green planet alongside white. I think the green station card that puts a creature into play. I want to keep exploring that. I mean, for the most part, station's not a great mechanic, but at least the 1 mana blue artifact's pretty good. They were Winota the whole time. Charma Goofy with the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Can I get out of this? I think I'm just dead right now to the lightning. Standard 60% one deck. I mean, I don't know a lot about standard, but I mean, I've seen people play that card in standard a good amount. Any plans for Kona? We've played Kona. Kona sucks in modern. All right, well, that was awesome. Their deck got a lot of cool points. Subtlety looking pretty good. Let's go to game 3. Don't think I'm making any changes. Why would I station for 20 rather than attack for 20? You can make value of your summoning sick creatures. You can. That's the real thing with station, is that they let you do something with your summoning stick creatures. I don't think it's too complicated. I don't love this hand, but we have a surveil, and don't think we should mulligan. What am I gonna save standard? I mean, you can only save what you can save. It doesn't seem like, I can come in 0 format knowledge and have fun in a format with a broken deck. I can only do things with the tools available to me. And I'm also loving modern. Alright, I think I need to keep that. What are my thoughts on your Affinity deck versus the one that top 8 of the showcase? I haven't seen the one that top 8'd, I think. Maybe someone linked it. I'd love to take a look if you link it. I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't. So like after Saturday, I like built this deck, and then I took yesterday basically off Magic. Kona plus the new spaceship is quite good in standard. The spaceship gets Kona and allows you to tap it the turn you play it. Yeah, I mean that could be more interesting. I think I was really off Coda when I first played it, but that doesn't mean that we can't recircle to it. You're right. They have five cards in their hand. I'm down to 18. They play a 1-drop. We're hoping to just draw a land. I guess we're just hoping to draw a land no matter what. Ideally, a green-white land. Yeah, I'll give a little bit more thought to Kona plus the spaceship, I guess. Okay, seems like I should go for the main phase. We could try to bait the energy spitting on the Guide of Souls, but I think that's just way too weak to a Galvanic Discharge for no reason. I remember we played a little bit of Kona with Smuggler's Surprise back in our standard ventures. I mean, Smuggler's Surprise, 6 mana is so much, but it might be like acceptable. Against the Winota deck, I do want to exile the cat. They also missed a land drop, which is fun. I love when both players miss land drops. Oh no, I feel like we're getting Bowmastered, but I think I have to play this. Okay, great. And then let's look at the affinity build. Okay, so this is like kind of the more standard version. I mean, I Steel Card is still a really good card. I certainly don't hate like playing the build this way. We played a build that was, I think, kind of similar to this, and I'll say that what I really like about my build is that Tezzeret and Manufacturing makes you a lot more resilient to the sideboard cards, to Wrath the Sky specifically, than I think a version like this does. I think that's maybe the biggest deal. I think that the builds are kind of far from solved. I think Tezzeret's been playing well. Manufacturing's been playing well. To some extent, I'm always interested in playing versions that are really focused on the new cards, so I can come to an understanding on them, compared to versions like this that are playing the older cards. We probably should have a Haywire Might in the 75. Keep that for Nissa. Yeah, I think both are fine. Like this one, like I will say that I've been kind of unimpressed by Tamio, but you have to play Tamio to enable Mox Amber, and getting Mox Amber is really good. But I think Tamio is a lot worse than she used to be because of these builds wanting to be more aggressive. Poor opponent. I guess they just have all Winotas or something. I think I'm gonna make green, and then I'm gonna just surveil again, and then make green again. I want the Nissa trigger to resolve before the surveil. I'll just main phase the endurance if I don't find a Risen Reef. All right, feeling pretty optimistic against an opponent who has all 3 and 4 drops in their 7-card hand. All right, that was their draw for turn. Let's play the Risen Reef off the Nissa. I almost feel bad for having this much fun. Almost. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of value. My opponent, quite the warrior, has not conceded yet. Any word you're trying to get Cosmic away from Nissa's second landfall trigger? Yeah, maybe. Be open to it. Oh, a spell. Do they have a Wrath Disguise in their hand? I guess they could go Wrath X equals 3 here. And then they still couldn't win. Put you back at the hand. You deserve to be here. I guess I should have subtletied that. I'm going to cast the Endurance instead. They discard a Lightning and a Flage. They cannot win still. Reef seems like a Namba with Riddler because you'll never have 4 than fewer cards in hand. How will you ever draw 2 off Riddler? Just put the lands into play instead. Although I'll put that into my hand. For the Nissa. Great. I will make you do some chump blocking. I guess if they go land Wrath X equals 5, then they're not dead on board. It'd have to be a painless land though, because we put 3 power of play into turn. Alright, that did it. Let's go. So maybe I guess we play the one at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Maybe we start the stream a little later. Ooh, light stall. Finally a believer. We put back the subtlety, I guess. Probably do want to prismatic ending this. Mana curve considerations and all that. Yeah, I've been following Dino's no damage run. I saw that he was almost done with game 5 this morning. Did he? Where are we at now? Okay, into Stoneforge Mystic. Revealing a Cryptic Coat. So I'm not going to Solitude the Stoneforge. Cool to see Cryptic Coat back in action. I think I'm getting Temple Garden. Maybe a little painful. He missed input into fall damage and Bloodborne at almost the end, which was game 6. That is brutal. He'll get it though. Okay, so Shadow Spear into Cryptic Code, I'm assuming. Thankfully, we draw the land. Alright, I guess we'll do this again next turn. So, I mean, they're not holding up the Cryptic Code activations. I think I'm just going to play this Birthing Ritual. Because it might mean that they're holding up removal for the Reef. I also don't think I'm going to Chant, since they're just not doing anything on their turn. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I really want to draw land so I can go Chant into Reef Solitude. Okay, so now instead I go Chant into Riddler. Reprieving there is interesting. I guess they wanted to cycle. So we don't have a land for that Ephemerate right now. Hopefully we find some good stuff. First we find, yeah, we'll go ahead and I think grab this Witness because we really need this land. It does mean that we can't like get another Solitude or a Riddler in play, but I think that's okay. Still have plenty of good stuff that we could get. Yeah, we should get this Reef into play. And then should I Solitude right now? I probably want to try to Solitude and Ephemerate, so let's not. I think we could take 4. It's interesting that they have not kept up like the Cryptic Coat ability on the Stoneforge. Like would have been way better there for the Chant turn, although Chant can be hard to play around. They played a Lightstall Inquisitor to exile my Subtlety. I think Lightstall is good. That's my first time where I get to fill out the Google form and say how good it was against me, but I definitely have been like really impressed with that card. I think it's underrated. I got 11 play with A2 with my Bant Ritual. Yeah, if you wanna link it, I'll take a look. I think someone else may have linked it earlier today. Were you playing like the Wall of Omens version? I didn't like the Wall of Omens very much. I'd be interested to hear how you feel about my build too. If you feel very strongly that I'm doing something right or wrong. Like, wait, am I just dead to this Cryptic Coat? I could kick the Chant, but if they have an answer to that, I'm cooked. I hit Helga to gain life, maybe. I mean, that's got to be somewhat helpful, but I guess I'm ritualing it to the bottom actually. Maybe I should have Solituded now. Any consideration to protecting our turn with Chant, and if they let it resolve Solitude Ephemerate. The problem is we know they have Cryptic Coat in their hand, which lets them put a Ward 2 creature into play, which is tough to defeat here. So I might kick Orim's Chant on their turn. And then if I kick Orim's Chant and they go counter, then equip Shadow Spear, I can Solitude my own Risen Reef to go to 1. I can also evoke Subtlety and Solitude my own Subtlety. after I just chant them, and I can ephemerate, and yeah, that's probably going to be better for me to like just cast the chant on their upkeep. Yeah, the problem is the ward 2 on the cloak. So the sideboard pyroclasms are kind of interesting too. I feel like they make your mana a lot worse, and I don't feel like they're that necessary. The Ellistorn seems fine. I think not main decking Chant feels. Oh, you have one Chant main. That's interesting. I felt like you're playing too many Oculuses for only 3 Rumbles. I felt like that this build looked really weak to spell based combo game 1. I thought it looked really weak to Tron game 1, which is it like at least mine's also pretty weak to it, but at least we have the extra chance. I also think four Riddlers is like really mandatory. I think not playing 4 Riddlers is going to be a mistake. I guess those are my thoughts on the build. But congrats on your finish. You know, I might be wrong about some of this stuff. Play a Saga. They're going to equip. No! This is going to be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I think I need to chant. It's maybe this is too much of a spew. But I feel like I go chant into Solitude, pitch Ephemerate, exile my own token, and then I cast Witch Enchanter to kill the coat. Their deck just seems like it has infinite counter magic, so it doesn't seem like I'm getting like they spell pierced my chant too, so they have more counter magic. Yeah, that was intentionally unclicked because they have too much interaction. So now I have to Solitude my own Reef, but I get 2 more Reef triggers, and I have the Witch Enchanter, which I can chain some stuff with Ritual. I can kill the coat. That's a pretty interesting pickup. I can go Helga into Witch Enchanter now. Invoking Solitude potential hit their guy seems better. This has Ward 2. Ward 2, Ward 2, Ward 2, Ward 2. No! Ah! That's such an embarrassing way to win. You had 2 mana. If you pay, let it resolve. If they counter the Solitude, what's the plan? If I evoke, such an embarrassing way to lose. We're in such good shape, I think, if the Witch Enchanter resolved. Although, I mean, if they just had a counterspell for the Witch Enchanter, we were also cooked. Okay, I do think I like to board out the chance of these kind of matchups. Do I bring in Fade from history against them? I don't think that's probably wrong. I think that one Consign seems fine, at least, maybe 2. I think probably bring in the 2nd ending also. Or the 4th ending, rather. I don't think I want Wrath of Skies. Yeah, it's just if they counter the Solitude that turn though, like we can't survive. If we evoke Solitude and they just counter, which is why we had to chant first. If they counter Solitude, you haven't spent mana, so you can still kick Chant. Well, they did also end up having the spell pierce. So I led on just Chant. So if they have just one counter spell, I can go Solitude Ephemerate. But they had Spell Pierce, which left them enough mana to go equip Shadow Spear plus 2 mana up to have another counter magic effect, which is like that's very difficult to play around Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce not that common. Very, very hard card to run into there. But I think because like most counter spells in that spot are 2 mana, it made more sense to just cast Chant first. But now I see why. I think both your line could have been better too. Your line probably leads me with like a better board on average. All right, on the play here. Yeah, I don't think Reprieve was super beatable no matter what, I guess. Okay. Good card to see on top. We're gonna try to play around Tishana's Tidebinder on a land, I guess. I feel like your list, not let's say Oculus adds a bit of brokenness, which I like to race against the combos. I mean, I think Riddler gives that too, but that gives you more help too. But Wall is much better on the mana than Oracle and Kodal. I mean, I'm not playing either. I think you just don't need to play either. But it's good that you like them. I like when Wall of Omens is good. Thank you for the feedback. Congrats on your results. Do you think they're also playing some remands? I don't know. I know that I wouldn't be playing remand probably. But that matters not to our opponent. So they grab a Cauldra. It might be better to try to Solitude the Cauldra itself. Yeah, I mean, I can just witness back Solitude if they have Subtlety, so I think I'll just do this. Okay, then we have a blue card now for the Subtlety, which is good. Although, I'd love to get a Riddler in play. I don't think I ever grab Cauldron versus Salty deck. I mean, they might already have the Cryptic Code in their hands. But yeah, barring that, it's probably wrong. I agree. So the good chance they have Tishana's Tidebinder up here. So I guess I'm going to lead on... I might just lead on Eternal Witness so I can Subtlety it. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that they probably... I'm just feeling the Tidebinder coming. I might also Ephemerate the Subtleties so I can get extra Risen Reef trigger, have board pressure in play, and then have the rebound Ephemerate available. Okay, see, drawing this, and I just know that I have double Birthing Ritual to use my mana exactly. It seems like what we want to do. And then this gives me an extra look at a white card for the Solitude I'm putting back in my hand. Not that I really need it that badly or anything. Minor adjustment on one of the past ships, Team About a Crier, I've been having fun with. Don't care if you look at it, just figure share. I mean, if it's Quantum Riddler, I don't exactly understand it. It's not. Oh, yeah, so I know the standard players have been playing this. This card might be good. I think it's more interesting for the list than Quantum Riddler, which is what most people are suggesting for it. Ooh, Hot Then Ice, let's go. Love seeing that card. But yeah, I think it actually could end up being an okay time to play this if Boros Energy is indeed on the downswing, like it seems like it might be. So thank you for sharing. They have another Tishana's Tidebinder. Seems like I'm playing double ritual here. How good has Helga been? I was wondering if more Phelia could be better. You can't really cut the Helgas for more blue. You could maybe cut one Helga for one non-blue card, but that's the upper limit, I think. You just need the blue cards if you're gonna play the subtleties, which I think you need the subtleties. All right, your turn or game 3. Gonna change anything? Consign looks really, I think, even better against them than I thought. I think I'm gonna go down a Prismatic Ending up a Consign. What do you think about the Tolarian Academy Planet? I feel like it could be a way to hardcast the Endstone. So the thing about the Tolarian Academy Planet is that it seems to be mostly worse than Archway of Innovation, a mostly forgotten card. Archway of Innovation also is something that we need to look at. I need to add this to my notes, actually. But we need to look at Archway with the new cards. Need to do that, and also need to do Hardened Scales this week sometime. Yeah, I could keep another land here. Opponent keeps the card on top. So I guess I'm just gonna go exile the Temple Garden and just play it tap next turn. It's like Archway of Innovation is kind of just like a Tolarian Academy for one spell, assuming that your artifacts aren't useful, which is kind of the problem. Although now there's a bunch of ways to make non-useful artifacts, so it's probably not better to be in on Archway of Innovation plus the new cards than like what we're already doing with the new cards. But I'm definitely interested in it. Obviously, I have to subtlety that. Have any of y'all been picking up Lightstall? I feel like Lightstall has just been so good. Okay, so they put the Teferi on top, so I guess we go Nissa with subtlety up then. We grab a basic planes. That seems good. It's not Tolarian Academy. Of course, none of these cards are Tolarian Academy, but as far as lands that are close to Tolarian Academy, Archway of Innovation is closer than this new card. This new card would be better if, like, with like constructs, Nettlecyst, that kind of stuff. One thing that's kind of interesting is like with cranial plating, you can station, move, plating, station. That could be kind of interesting too. Yeah, I might want to hardcast Subtlety and Birthing Ritual, so I'm not going to get a Surveil land here. Do you think I want to play the Birthing Ritual over hardcasting Solitude this turn? Although that could be the wrong choice. I also I don't know how often I'm sacking the Nissa. I don't know if I would do it if I saw Risen Reef or Helga. I don't see either of those. Great. I don't have to make a decision. Love that. I'm down to 14. They're down to 14 also. They missed a land drop last turn. They do get the Teferi down. They do bounce the Nissa. They find a land. It's a Marsh Flats. Good chance we're just going to main phase that. Not really any one mana counterspell that gets the Nissa here, thankfully. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell. That would be really bad. Thankfully they don't seem to. Too bad if I hit Quantum Riddler, I can't Solitude in my instep for the extra card. I'm not going to do that just for the upside, though. Ah! Seems like they should be on Solitude. I mean, maybe, like, so they're playing Tidebinder, Lightstall, Inquisitor, Spell Pierce, Reprieve. Like, there's just, like, not that many other cards they can have. Okay, they get a basic Plains end of turn, which makes me think they have Harbinger in their deck. 5 cards in their hand. They could be on Solitude. They could be on Quantum Riddler too, and we just haven't seen any. Okay, they lock down just my Birthing Ritual. They also hit their own Lightstall. And then they Lightstall me. I guess I'll exile a Solitude. Bulldozer with the 12 months. Glad you're still liking the stream after all this time. Welcome back, my friend. Here's to 12 more months. Well, I'll be taking 2 weeks off in October or November. I'm glad I'm going to be back in time for the Avatar set, though, it seems. Okay, so let's see if this resolves. It does resolve. So I think I'm going to go get one of these Solitudes out of my hand. So I can draw 2 with my Riddler. Which will maybe find me a fetch land for the Nissa this turn. Finds me a regular land for the Nissa. Pretty greedy, but I'm gonna play this untapped. I do get to draw 2 more cards, so how bad could that be? Okay, paid off really well. Now I have the hardcast Subtlety up. And a busy witch for the 7 months. Welcome back. Hope you in chat are enjoying your mornings. Love seeing Riddler, even though Dingo thinks he's a fraud. Yeah, Dingo being completely serious about Riddler being a fraud. I mean, yeah, there was a new one came out like last year or the year before. My standing desk being a little weird. So I don't think I'm very likely to chant against a Flooded Strand right now. Pacific Rim kind of a banger. Yeah, I mean, I liked Pacific Rim. It was like fine. But like, okay, it's the mocking blue-white energy again. So maybe I'll respond to a fetch, not that they have one, I guess. We've just been drunk a lot of times, and I always suggest Pacific Rim because I know she'll want to watch it. It's so funny. All right, let's. Yeah, it's like exactly like it's like both movies are like fine, but favorite movies so funny. No, Phelia is great. Blue card is great. Awesome. I love seeing this Mockingbird in the yard. It just gives so much info that we're in great shape here. Worth subtletying. Good play on their part. Okay. Interesting. So they pitch Starfield Shepherd. We lose our Reef. They have 4 cards in their hand. They probably bottom the Mockingbird. I think our Orim's Chant lock is going to be unreliable to say the least. I do think this turn I should probably prioritize just main phasing the Ephemerate. If they have Solitude, that's okay. They'll be down to 2 cards. Subtlety really good in this matchup. Yeah, I don't think I am subtletying this. Good chance they just get a plains. They do get a plains. They do have the Ephemerate, which is a little bit worse for me. Although Orim's Chant upkeep next turn should be pretty good. So they grab a Mockingbird, and then they play a Static Prison, which breaks up my Ephemerate rebound stuff. But I just also have Prismatic Ending for the Static Prison. But I just can't target anything either there. Yeah, I guess there's not like a lot of a reason for me to main phase the ending. We'll just do this first. Yeah, I think I probably want to be able to. I think I want to be able to get back the chant with the witness. I'm gonna go get a tea too real quick. It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. Okay, so they get in for 3. They have a Mockingbird in their hand. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. Land in hand, off Reef, play it for turn, kick Chant. Did I not play a land last turn? Okay, they just concede. Wow. Let's go. I mean, the chants were good here, but I think they get broken up by Solitude way too easy. So I think we're just in 3 consigns. I don't think I played a land. Yeah, maybe I was too focused on getting a sip. I mean, they are playing Guide, Pride, Mockingbird. Maybe I do want to play the Wraths. Yeah, I'll play the Wraths and the extra ending. Maybe these are better than the Consigns. Consigns are good though. I could cut a Witness. I don't think I want to cut a Witness. Cut a Helga. Yeah, also hits Prison. That's true. Someone mentioned this. I think so. We've been trying Lightstall Inquisitor in the blue-white mid-range energy deck, and that card's been good. I think it's underrated. I don't think that you have to be in on it like we are. That being said, I think Thraben Charm is almost definitely than Static Prison. Someone said that yesterday, or not yesterday, Saturday or Friday, and I agree. I agree with that sentiment. That it seems like Thraben Charm is better. This gives you a lot more equity against other combo decks, and you're not like reliant on Guide of Souls being in play. I don't know. You think that trying something like Moonlight in the side? You think they are? Moonlight could be okay. All right, what did they get? They got a Guide of Souls. Okay, so I'm pretty interested in going Riddler Ephemerate next turn. Don't they bring in like 4 consigns versus me? Maybe. Okay, I guess we're gonna Prismatic Ending. What is the counterpoint being made? Like what do I have that's weak with the consigns? I mean, it's like good against me in general, but like what did you want me to do about it? Yeah, I like Thraben Charm a lot. You know, I don't hate every MH3 card. I would say Thraben Charm is definitely one of the MH3 cards I like the most. Yeah, I think we want to set up for Solitude Ephemerate potentially. Nah, I think it's probably better to save Subtlety for Solitude. Just let them cycle this. Pitch Elementals are MH2. I like the Pitch Elementals minus Grief. I think Grief is the only MH2 card I really have Grief with, honestly. I don't even really mind Fury. Hmm. I think Fury warped the metagame. I think so too, to some extent. I kind of liked having it, if I'm going to be honest. And it's okay. I'm not advocating for the unbanned, but I just, I don't have beef with Fury. So yeah, we're trying to find a white card, of course, for the Solitude. And there we go. Might as well make them sink their energy before we do anything else. We did get the 24-hour Splinter Twin stream, although we played other decks too. I guess now we'll go for it, so they don't gain the. I think I've telegraphed the Solitude too much, but if I'd done it faster, it'd have been right to let this resolve. Then they're like -3 energy. Oh, you know what? Sorry, they still get the token because the Solitude gains them the life. My opponent says nothing beats a Jet 2 Holiday. What does that mean? Isn't Wrath just better here? I mean, I get to draw 3 cards off the Reef, so I don't think so. A little bit worried about their own Solitude, so you could say that Wrath is better to play around Solitude, maybe, but okay. Still in fine shape, I think. Now they have the energy to fly this guide. Then they get 1 more energy on their instep. Did they put the Holly on top? They probably did. think I'll play the Helga here. Don't know what I'm sacking. Yeah, I guess we'll sack the Helga to get Subtlety. So we can go up on the chain so we can get a 5 next turn, and of course we can just trigger the Reef. Another Reef, not too bad. So they have 2 cards in their hand. Did we make any changes, League, or run it back? We changed the sideboard. Holy redacted, that's definitely 200 pounds for a family of 4. I'm old. I'm out of touch. It'll happen to you too, Chad. Don't get too cocky. It'll happen to you too. Would the blue-white deck be okay, you think, if I wanted to squeeze Sephiroth? I would not encourage you to play Sephiroth. And it's like really only good if you have Ocelot Pride, right? Alright, let's take 6. It'll happen to you too, chat. Oh, they did gain 3 life. Yeah, Helga's maybe not the most powerful in this build compared to the Karuga deck, but it does just pitch to everything, and I think it's got a lot of synergy in the deck for sure. Alright, I think I'm just gonna try to set up for Ephemerate this turn instead of Helga. I don't know if that's... It seems correct. Guess we grab the Riddler. Only get to draw 1. We get Ephemerate now and draw an extra card, but I think I want to try to find Solitude. Don't mind finding Phelia. Interesting they boarded that in. Yeah, we draw 2, then draw 1. But because we drew the Phelia, it looks like we still maybe get a draw 2. I'm 31, I'm not 29. I mean, the mill just might be a good plan in these matchups, I don't know. So I think blocking the Pride seems probably like the best thing to block. So I could go block here. Oh, sorry. Pride. Block here, then block here and Ephemerate, take 4. I think doing that. It's 2 cards on the Reef versus 2 cards on the Riddler, so should be kind of a wash. Oh, they have something. They have Ephemerate on the Pride. So we could draw Solitude, so we might as well look for that. Although I guess, would we even Solitude right now? I don't know. Alright, their Ephemerate resolves. Did they gain life? It looks like they did. I'm not really honestly sure when they gained the life, but whatever. So we got 4 life points. Target the Reef. 2 more cards. Which Enchanter can't put that into play as a land, of course. And a Prismatic Ending. So let's start off with Nissa. Play this tapped. Make blue, probably blue then white. Got him. Damn it. Needed to attack this first. Opponent still having a laugh. Guess we go Prismatic Ending, the Guide of Souls seems to be the priority. Then draw 2. Oh, sorry, draw 3. Can I afford to kill the Ashiok? So I can I get to reset the Riddler, have a blocker there. Yeah, it seems like I should be able to. I really also like am gonna have a hard time if I don't. Alright, so Phelia down. So let's go. Return the Riddler, draw a card, down to 20 cards in my deck. Got to be mindful of that at this point in the game. Let's Solitude the Halia. Subtlety up is nice. Witness in hand is great. Okay, so they have an Ephemerate Rebound. I still don't understand the Jet 2 holiday meme. Trying to learn, trying to be better. Can I get through 43 life is the question. We may need to get rid of our own Risen Reefs. Or they just concede. Great. All right, so we are 7-1 on the day. All right, we're on the draw here. Live action roleplay. Yeah. I don't know if that. I don't know if it's LARPing or something else. I have a friend who got into. I think it was called DAG, and it was like maybe LARPing with no swords. He like I had a friend and a half who were really into it. I think not for me, but fun to watch. Yeah, well, gotta subtlety that, I guess. On the draw against normal Boros. Oh yeah, I've seen the divorced dads stuff. That's obviously really good. Oh, that's every time it's funny. All of that guy's videos crack me up. Okay, so we want a white card. Found a white card. Love to see a miss land drop. Are y'all pitching Solitude or Ephemerate? I think I'm pitching the Ephemerate here. Because if I hit a land off of this Solitude or the Reef trigger, then I just get to hardcast next turn. Okay, never mind. Pitching the Solitude. Did we lose the they missed a land drop, but feels great to be like mega ahead of Boros at this point in the game. Not that often that happens. They play a Pride. I need to figure out something cool to chant when I cast Chant. They get to bad hand? Maybe. I mean, if they had like Discharge Voice and like they just need to draw a third land, maybe it's fine. And maybe not. Maybe it was bad. Second Ephemerate is really, really good. So I guess that with second Ephemerate, we do get back the Chant. Yeah, Modern is so good right now. It feels like a lot of people left Modern for Standard when Final Fantasy came out, but boy is Modern like mega good at the moment. I might abandon the ritual loop-de-doop stuff now, since they have 3 mana up. A little bit worried about removal spells. Gab, thanks for the raid. Hope you all are doing well. I finally got around to playing just a Bant version of Birthing Ritual, and we are 7-1 on the day. It's been pretty good, Gab. Just gonna grab another Ephemerate. Draw a land for turn. I don't know. Maybe we should still go for the Chant on their upkeep here. It feels like I want them to commit the mana though. Like I feel like I want them to like cast a Flage or a Spyro, and then I just get back Subtlety and get rid of it. Bant Risen Reef, lock in for PT. Hell yeah! And I think I might play this in the last chance tomorrow. It's my front runner. Oh yeah, I mean you should probably add walls in Arcades. Dude, Arcades Quantum Riddler is a combo. They graveyard a land after missing like 3 land drops. That's kind of surprising. They play a Goblin Bombardment. Okay, so if I Ephemerate onto my Witness, they're just going to discharge it. I think there's basically no timeline where that doesn't happen. So I kind of like the idea of targeting the Riddler instead and then rebounding onto the Witness. That way I get full value out of it. I know you said you liked Street Boy version 2 days ago. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't tried the full Bant yet. I tried just the 4-color build, which I didn't like as much. I do think this one's playing a lot better than the 4-color one. I don't know if I like this more than the blue-white still, but I think if I had to answer right now, I would say yes, I like this one more. All right, so that seemed to work out. So we grab Chant. And then we draw a Riddler, which we'll just cast for 5. The 4th color was for Omnath, and then I was trying one of the red Overlords because it had been good against me. And it was good in the deck, but it was too tough on the mana. Then we also had Charmals in the sideboard. And the Charmals were tough on the mana, but they were really good in the deck. So it was a little confusing. The Bant list was basically blue, white, splashy green for Ritual of Might, no Chant Witness lock. I've been really liking the Chant Witness. I've also been really liking Reef and Helga too. I think Helga's like not as good as in this build as it like is in Karuga, but being able to pitch to everything like lets you play Subtlety, and I think Subtlety is really good right now. It's like so good against the Blink decks, and then also good against Neoform and Titan, which have been popping up a lot. It's like good against the Goryo's builds too. It's just kind of good. Okay, on the draw against regular Boros, cut the Chants, and then cut the Witnesses and 1 Helga and bring in the Endurances. Was my opinion on Geist of Saint Trap for Blue White Energy too much of a meme? So I think it's already out of date because for Blue White Energy you want to be really in on the flicker stuff. But when we were playing it, like it was like weirdly very strong. I don't think it was stronger than the red cards were, but alongside like main deck Consign and Guide of Souls and sometimes also at Pride, and I think there was one more synergy piece. It was weirdly a card that performed well, but it is already out of date because now in Blue White Energy you want to be playing Phelia, Ephemerate, and just flicker effects. Is Boros finally falling off of a cliff? It kind of felt like it was falling off a cliff when Ketramos first got printed too. If y'all remember that, when Ketramos first got printed, Boros was falling off really hard. It was like really weak there, and then they adjusted and learned how to play the matchup, and then and then that was no longer the case. So it's let's not count Boros out quite yet. I would really like to find a white fetch so I could play around Moon on the draw. Might not be something we have the luxury of doing. I also want to be able to get white Surveil land so I can go Solitude, Ephemerate next turn, and then also Hedge Maze. It's hard to tell if Edge actually power crept Boros or people are just bored of it. Well, we have been playing against it a lot, and we've been beating it most of the time. So, I don't know. So keep that as a white card. So not going to main phase the Solitude just on voice. Yeah, I do want to keep that so I could go Reef into Solitude into Subtlety. Yeah, but I think that there's a good chance, it could be similar to how the Ketramos metagame shaped out, where Ketchabos was really good against Boros at first, and then they learned the matchup and the metagame adjusted really hard. I absolutely think that could end up being how this shapes out. So hoping they don't have a bombardment. That's pretty good against my Risen Reef. Does seem like they're going to end up having an answer for the Reef here. So what we pitch is going to depend on what we find off the Reef really hard. I don't know if that changes really anything. Yeah, let's pitch the Ephemerate. I think we need the Wrath as like a plan B. If their next turn is really good, I'd like to be able to have the Wrath to fall back on. I know we need a white source for it. And like it would be really nice to not have to pitch a Subtlety this turn, and I could just like maybe let them play into the Wrath. Yeah, like this all slap Pride, I think I just like hope that we find a white source. So I'm down to 15. They're gonna have minimum 4 points of power in play after this. We also could just like run a Subtlety out to block next turn if we miss. Good chance. It looks like they have another removal spell in their hand though. So let's play the Reef. Probably gonna die, but cycles towards a white source, maybe. If they, yeah, I don't think we're supposed to evoke Subtlety end of turn here, or if they kill this. Okay, perfect. I mean, this card is a little bit scary. It's good to know about, but just great that we get the value. Unclear if they're going to keep it on the top or the bottom, too. They do keep it on the top. So their hand is Containment Priest, 2 mystery cards. Phoenix with the 25 months that you will come back. I'm down to 11 life points. It's pretty good. Right, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7 now. Right, game 3. Next card. We'll never know. Probably for the best. Game 3 on the play. In front of me stands 2 paths. Keep and mulligan. I choose the path less traveled. So if I draw a land, I am probably leaning towards casting Phelia, especially if it's a white land. Although if it's Ragavan, then we probably just need to ending turn 1. But we didn't draw a land anyways, so just gonna play this one slower. Would Pending be OP as an instant? I mean, usually when you take a modern staple that's a sorcery, it would be a little bit too efficient at instant. All right, good curve from our opponent here. I think we're going to play the Phelia. Feeling like we're getting maybe a little unlucky. Yeah, played around Phelia, perfect. Well played. We don't want to block the Pride because then they just sack the 1 cat to kill it instead of 2. I don't think there's like an interesting attack first. Yeah, just stuck missing land drops games 2 and 3. Still like very, very live if we draw a land. Especially if they just play Flage next turn. Sometimes I like cutting Phelia versus Boros. I think cutting Phelia against Boros is fine. It would have been for a 3-drop in this hand, though. So I don't know. It's also like better on the play where like a lot of times they tap out on turn 2 and then you get them with the scam. We only have one copy in the deck. They have 3 cards in their hand. They just pass. I think they have a Flage if they're going to think there. Like it kind of feels like they might want to hold a Flage. Well, I wasn't really thinking about this, but I guess we're going to scam Endurance. Not a line I like to take, but we can actually scam 2 Endurances here. What are the Endurances good against? Flage. Also, they block really well. Like, they block a 3/3 Pride. Alright, probably dead. Alright, pretty anticlimactic. Dying to draw second white source game 2. Didn't draw third land game 3. No trophy. It's a good sign that our only losses so far have been to Mana Screw. Well, at least we can mulligan this one. Bajan of 38, think you will come back? Don't understand any of those words. I think we put back the Reef. Good 6. Quantum Riddler and Mulligans, 2-card combo. Or, I guess mulliganing is not a card. They keep a card on top. Don't think we need the 4th land right now. So they should have a Phelia. Yeah, I think I'm down to go Birthing Ritual this turn into Quantum Riddler with Ephemerate up next turn and Solitude the Phelia turn. Okay, so no Bowmaster, no Phelia. Why did they shock in the Godless Shrine? No Reprieve. They have double Fatal Push. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Has Helga come up yet? We played some Helgas. I think it's mostly like a nice... It's really good that it's a blue and white card, because we really desperately need blue and white cards. That's weirdly the biggest thing. Okay, they brick on the Priest. We are up against Goryo's, which is, you know, can be kind of tough game 1. Yeah, we've been pitching it a lot, but it's like a fine card to cast. You could maybe cut 1, but if you're gonna cut 1, I would kind of love to add a blue and white card for it. I don't know exactly what that would be. Yeah, I think instead of using the Ephemerate, I'm just gonna go ahead and put Risen Reef into play. Teferi. It's just so tough for me to play Teferi in my Birthing Ritual Ephemerate decks. You could play 1. Like that is kind of the option. I don't know how well positioned it is. Main deck Lavinia? Yeah, it could be a Soul Herder. I think that Helga is better than Soul Herder. Neither are great. But it keeps the card on top. Like, when you ritual into Helga, you can get value immediately if you have your incarnations. You can't really do anything immediate with Soul Herder if you ritual into it. And Helga, like, helps you cast Warped Soul Herders really well, which I like. Hard to say no to that one. I guess I should be casting that instead of the Helga. Maybe a Wall of Omens or 2 to lower the curve. Maybe. I haven't like regretted not having Wall of Omens yet, but That doesn't mean it's not right to omit them. Also, like, does Wall of Omens even lower the curve? Because you're kind of like here because you're kind of spending 2 mana to do nothing. So, is the curve higher or lower? It's almost like it's higher because you just spend mana to do nothing. Probably not the correct way to think about it. So when you play the build like this, I'm really, really worried about your ability to interact with like Eldrazi and Storm and Belcher and Goryo's. It seems like you just cannot win any of those matchups game one because you're not playing the Chant stuff. Okay, so I probably don't want to Chant when they could just upkeep Goryo's me. But I could Chant in response to Goryo's and then make their Griselbrand turn a bit awkward. Goonie with the 42, thank you, welcome back. Because if I do this, like they can, you know, it can be like a 7-point life swing, and they can draw a lot of cards, but they can't keep the Griselbrand in play if this resolves. Was that a punt? Yeah, that was a punt. No More Lies is not a playable modern card, I think. Mariner's kind of interesting, though. Wall could have been helpful last game. I don't know. Like, we're 7-2 on the day. We lost 2 games because we got mana screwed. I agree. If we could have cast a Wall of Omens in this game, we got mana screwed. But I don't really think it's that important. I would rather play a land, you know. Solitude for -7 cards. It's not -7 because they could just easily pay the extra 7 because they're getting 7 back. They discarded an Atraxa. It's good they don't have another copy of Goryo's up, huh? They were at 14 pre-attacks when they drew 7. Well, I guess they couldn't have drawn more than. Oh, sorry, I meant to have another white mana up here. I think I thought I was getting planes off the fetch. Good chance we can find another land trigger for the extra white source, though. Somewhere or another. Also just outgrind the Goryo's deck. Doesn't happen all that often. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the Chant. The Graveyard of Frog. We have to discard a card. Probably Helga. The life gain from Helga does seem pretty nice. Yeah, I think the Riddler is just too good with the ritual next turn. They're also already -2 Goryo's, but so on the pick, I think you need 1 less blue-green duel and 1 more white-green duel. Well, we have double blue and we have double green, and our double white is until 5. So I think that we do really need the second breeding pool because we're in a Turn to Witness Subtlety deck. We also have 5 mana double blue with Quantum Riddler. We do have more like play 2 white spells in the same turn early, and I might be undervaluing that. But I think we do need the second breeding pool, and I think we need 1 of each Surveil land. So I think we could have another Temple Garden also, but I don't think it should come at the cost of 1 of those. You lose 3 life? Okay. So I'll probably just play Phelia. Kick Chant before 5. Well, the thing is they just escape this thing too, or respond with a Chant with a Goryo's. My double blue is turn 4, turn 5. Right, but my double white is turn 5. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's just we have cheaper double blue than we have double green, double white. Kick Chant before 5. I guess I wasn't thinking of Chant so much as a double white card. That's a good point. That's a good point. You choose Ephemerate, Prismatic Ending, Solitude, and Colosseum. So leaving up the Ephemerate here. So let this happen. 07 Nissa. And then they're going to Ephemerate the Solitude. And then we go for Solitude in response instead of Ephemerate. Yeah, we also have a double white in the sideboard. I don't know. I feel like I do still want the second breeding pool, but maybe I'm just wrong about that. I'm open to being just wrong about that. Have to chew on it a little bit more, maybe. Or we should pitch the Phelia instead of the Chant, too. Seems like we're going to be good, though. Thanks, Silly Cheese, for the 1 year. I think Phantoms are good in the sideboard now. Blue-White Riddler, Eldrazi seems like tough. Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier, but like I haven't been liking Phantoms very much as a sideboard card because they weren't very good against Eldrazi. But now that Eldrazi is more of a is now it's a Tron deck again, the Phantoms become pretty good against it again. And then you might see a cyclical nature where regular Eldrazi comes back. I think Phantom's also like solid against Titans, not great, but it's kind of a nice tool to have as part of the matchup plan. We do need a land for turn. I think we play Helga plus Riddler here. $27 cards left in the deck. Yeah, I think I'll just cash this in for a Solitude, which gives me 2 more cards. Which might find me Orim's Chant. Just more damage too. Okay, I think we discard Ritual, Windswept Heath, Helga. Oh, I guess probably the Reef too. Just literally too many cards. Definitely should have kept the Chant. Is Ice still on tap? I don't know. I feel like the first that's weird that you can Warp Hitler and activate Helga. Same as Evoke, right? I think that maybe our first build was the best. I'm getting like a little bit bored of like the all-in Ice Till builds. I want to kind of try to figure out a build that has like maybe the Ice Till package involved, but is like less in on it. What happens in the Ice Till versus Mill matchup? Pain, I think. How much of my days are just looking at nothing happening? I mean, it's kind of nice because if nothing's happening on this screen, I can look at chat, and then vice versa. So not that much. Maybe when I'm on the toilet. I got another one locked and loaded. I guess could have targeted here to get extra reef triggers, although I might have too many reef triggers. I guess better against another Solitude, yeah, so just the wrong target, huh? Just the wrong target. Weird thing to saying after mentioning being on the toilet. All right. I'm a weird guy. They didn't keep Consign up, which is interesting. We know that they have one. It might consign my Witness ETB. Cost them 3 life though. Yeah, we don't have Endurance in the main deck, so it will not save us. I think we're going to be able to deal lethal damage. I'm not that worried about it. Oh, I guess I'm too used to playing this only in the Karuga deck. Too used to playing this only in the Karuga deck. I thought it was just mana for any creature. This make Helga a good bit worse. Alright, no legendary creature in the yard. I guess we could have kicked for Indulgence plus Goryo. Seems not that likely. Alright. Up a game against Gorios. I've not been like loving Force of Negation against them. They can play around it with Gorios really easily, and it's not good against almost anything else. The chants were really... I think I want one chant. The chants were like really bad where I could just upkeep Gorios. But I think one might be okay. Consign stopping Archaeologist ETB, Solitude ETB, Atraxa ETB, or it's kind of okay. Not great. I do like Subtlety a lot against them. The number of Prismatic Endings is probably 3 or 4 because we need to be able to snag Emperor and Frog. Being able to draw the 4th one makes some sense to me. So I can probably go down to Witness and a Helga. We'll play a Force over a Helga. I think that seems okay. Yeah, Inquisitor's been good for me too. And then when we played against it earlier today, even though I didn't think my opponent's deck was very good, it also looked good. Like, if I had the Lightstall Inquisitor Google form to fill out, I would have said this was effective against me. Now, I don't think you have to play it in Blue-White Energy, although I do think that I think that I would prefer it over Static Prison, but I might prefer Thraben Charm or Subnumber over both of those. I just don't think the prisons are very good in the Blue-White Energy deck. Yeah, but this deck might just be better than both of those. Although that build's a lot more aggressive, which counts for a lot. Probably better against the Tron deck. I feel like the best card to see on top is like a Risen Reef or a Helga, so I could just pitch to either. Okay, don't have a blue card for Evoke. I think I get Archive here. Just want a white Surveil. So if I find Solitude, I can Solitude and Ephemerate and still Surveil. Kind of minor. Not a good start here. Opponent keeps a card on top. They take the Thoughtseize. Feeling kind of dead. I've done a comprehensive search for all the blue-black elementals, which are legal in Modern. They all suck. There's Subtlety. I agree. That's not a very deep pool. Don't know why you were in that pool, but probably time to get out, huh? All right, right on time. Prismatic Ending. Holding up Hardcast Endurance doesn't seem like it would do much against the Thoughtseize that's in our opponent's hand anyways. What's the best enchantment tutor? I think there are no good enchantment tutors. Like there's Profane Tutor, which could get anything, which is sometimes okay. But like as far as something that searches a specific enchantment, I think there are no good ones in Modern. Sterling Grove. I think Sterling Grove is bad. It's 3 mana, put an enchantment on top. That's not a good tutor. I've played a lot of Enchantress over the last 2 years. I've never played Sterling Grove in like any of the builds I felt are good, and I I don't recommend Sterling Grove. They brick though. They brick again, although they put a Trax into the yard, so not exactly a brick, I guess. We can beat Emperor Bones. Can't really beat Agorios right now. I feel like people have an inflated opinion of Sterling Grove's effectiveness in competitive formats because of its popularity in EDH. I think that's a good way to put that. Would Enlightened Tutor be too good for Modern? What's too good? Alright, they don't reveal an Ephemerate, so we may be able to tank this. I think like these 1 mana tutors are just kind of asking for trouble. I don't really feel like trying to have a long conversation about Enlightened Tutor, but I don't think it would be the end of the world, no. If you haven't played House, it's bad. Well, I'm bad for I think 1 mana instant speed tutors lead to repetitive gameplay. When they're good, they're really bad for the format usually. So that's what I mean by bad, not uncompetitive necessarily. They do put the frog on top. I think I actually want to play this and hold it up. Save the Witch Enchanter maybe as a white card for Solitude. Then they shuffle the frog away. And then after, I think, they put the swamp in the graveyard. So that might mean they have, like, Solitude plus Ephemerate. We know they have a Prismatic Ending in their hand. Obviously, we kind of love if they just, like, Prismatic Ending a Reef here. You think Seven's Priest and Riddler can fit into the same deck? It's just so tough to play 4-color with the Surveillance. It's like, it's definitely doable, but your mana is so much better. And even though I like Severance Priest, I think I probably wouldn't recommend it. So if they have another Solitude, this is tough, but this is what I was trying to bait here. They do have another Solitude. Get to gain some life? Imagine if this Witch Enchanter was a blue card. So they have only 2 cards in their hand. I'm at 7 life. Find a new Reef. I think at this point we're playing this out. So we know they still have Prismatic Ending as one of their 3 cards. They're very likely to ending my Reef. So I think we're going to try to wait for that to happen before we Ephemerate instead of trying to block and then Ephemerate. Although they're probably going to do it main phase. Hopefully their last card isn't a really relevant one. Okay, I guess we just do this and then they Prismatic Ending. Unless, oh, no, sorry, I bet they pitched they did pitch the Prismatic Ending, sorry. They did pitch it to the other Solitude. Forgot to check for that. So we don't know their last card. Hopefully it's nothing. Alright, I'm down to 3 life points. I don't have any Surveil lands left in the deck. I think I might as well draw that. I think it's probably still better. And then we'll go for the upkeep Solitude. Their Solitude, I think. Consign would be pretty good here. What is it? Modern legal? I think it'd be safe for modern. Hymn to Turok, Swords to Plowshares, Wasteland, Force of Will, Dark Ritual, Ancient Tomb, Days, Entomb, Reanimate, all of the initiative cards. Oh, dude, we're getting a Traxxas. Brutal. Also, uh, no, not Black Lotus. Of course not. Let's be serious. Yeah, all the Monarch cards. Rashad Import. They choose Prismatic Ending, Goryo's, Atraxa. Nothing to Goryo's in the yard right now. All right, well, we'll kick that, I guess. Would port really be too good for modern? Okay, of course, I always have to say this for some reason, but there's a difference between too good and like a fucking miserable card. There are a lot of really miserable legacy cards, and Rashad Import, yes, is one of them. No, port is not legal in modern. So hand is Goryo's, Atraxa. They did they play the Flooded Strand last turn? Let's go to 1. I do think I need to cycle the Subtlety here. I might even like be able to chump block the Atraxa. I think I have no Ephemerates left. I see at least a clump of 3 there. It looks like I do have 1 left. Okay, Birthing Ritual's a nice grab. Yeah, I don't know how good port would be either, but I'm just saying it does not matter. That card leads to really miserable gameplay, and we know this. We don't need to add it to modern. All right, let's draw 2 off the Riddler. Maybe should have sacked the Solitude. We still have a flying blocker, one that doesn't die to push at least. Okay. I don't know if we could win this game, but let's try. Also doesn't die to Prismatic Ending, I guess. That's more relevant, I suppose. I guess we have Endurances in our deck, so we can win this game if we outgrind them. Goodbye, sweet Riddler. You drinking Yerba right tune? Yeah, I drink one every day. Although this is actually my second today. I'm just trying to have a high energy when I get back into the gym because when I went this morning, I just couldn't like, I couldn't get my blood pumping and I couldn't hit my goal weight. It's just a mess. Yeah, I think I should probably ending this. We get the extra card off the Riddler. Does seem like their hand's likely a little awkward. We're also up a game and they've got 5 minutes on the clock. I try not to think about that kind of stuff too much, but hard to ignore. Do you have bench press? So I've switched my workouts to work out to. Oh, I should have played my land because I draw the card off the Helga. Although I guess now I can go. Well, I suppose I would draw a card off the Helga again. So we don't need to do that now. So I've switched all of my workouts to be to failure, just like lifting to failure. And then if I'm in the 5 to 10 rep range, then I stay at the same weight until I can do more than 10 reps, and then the next time I go up 5 pounds. And I'm not working out with a spotter, and because I'm not working out with a spotter, it's kind of impossible for me to do regular bench press. But I also feel like chest press gives me a better range of motion anyways, so I don't mind. So we would really like to find a blue card so we could subtlety the incoming Atraxa. Do that every workout. So I'm weightlifting every 4 days, and I'm doing 2 cardio days, and I'm doing 1 pure rest day as my schedule. I need to endurance myself at some point. Now's probably a fine point. Find the blue card. Probably should have looked if we were more likely to find the blue card off the shuffle or not, but too lazy. When we kind of can't lose this match anyway, since they only have 5 minutes on the clock and they have to win 2 games. Can't you go into a rack and set up safety bar, spotter arms? I guess you could. It says GG, good luck on the trophy, but this is for a 4-1. Okay, I mean, this deck was awesome. I think I want to play it in one of the last chances. I just don't know which one we'll be playing. I only have enough QPs for one. Been playing a lot on the Timmy account lately, which is the downside. So there's one at 5 p.m.